What's up guys, welcome back to the next video against Oyasumi Makuro. I'm probably butchering how you're supposed to pronounce that, but this is the best Japanese team at Worlds. And you could see here at the start, our faces are a lot happier than they have been this entire tournament. And that's because we're happy we're not facing Omo again, because if you saw my last video, we almost lost them and we thought they were probably the best team at Worlds besides us on that day. So obviously Oyasumi, very strong team still, but they had to play with the sub because Ton got banned, for everyone that heard about that news. So I think their team was actually a lot stronger with Ton on it. So with the sub, it was quite a bit weaker. Obviously they didn't have time to prep with the sub, nothing against the sub, but just having to play with your sub on the day of the Worlds tournament obviously is going to make your team a lot weaker. I personally think if Ton played, actually, that Oyasumi probably would have been the second team. I still think we would have beaten them because these games we pretty convincingly won from what I remember. But they probably would have beaten Omo if they had Ton. So unfortunate for them. Like, just having no prep with someone, like, I know from experience, is not going to work out well. And considering that, they still did really well to get third. So props to them. So my infamous Worlds tier list, like literally every interview at Worlds, they brought up my tier list. Like, they never asked me any questions about myself. Literally every interview, because we did interviews after we won too, where they asked me questions. Every single question was about my players tier list for Worlds. And I'm like, bro, like, I'm a human. Like, you could ask me different questions. But on my players tier list, I actually rated all these players very lowly. Well, like, considering their region, I rated them all like A or B tier. I will say the one player I think I was wrong about was PYI. I would rate PYI way higher, probably like S tier, S plus tier. But the rest of them, I'd say I was still fairly accurate about. Maybe I'd rate Mame a little higher, but yeah. Without further ado, here's how the drafts played out. So we took Zacian away from them to prio it, and we banned Urshifu. They banned Lapras against us, which is smart. Oyasumi's drafts were actually pretty decent when it came to knowing what to ban and prio pick. I would say I do not like their picks later in the drafts, like Leafeon, Espeon. You guys already know I'm not a fan of those. So I think their bans and then their first like 2 or 3 picks are usually pretty good. But then I feel like they don't have the right idea about answers later on. And this was something interesting. All the Blissies in Asia ran Focus Band. And I don't think Focus Band is that bad, but I personally think that Energy Amp is the best item by far on Blissey, and you're trolling if you don't run it for multiple reasons. I've seen a lot of people asking for a Blissey guide, and yes, there is a Blissey guide coming. So I'm excited to get that out for you guys. I have a lot of video ideas in the works that I think are pretty exciting. Without further ado, let's get into the game. Very standard, just the Leafeon's gonna go top here. Probably gonna go Solar Blade because it's going top. I think Solar Blade was a lot more used than Razor Leaf in this tournament. We are going to leash Overlord's jungle, standard practice for us. We've been doing this almost every single game. I actually don't think there's a single game we didn't leash the jungle. So we have Inteleon bot lane with Umbreon. So I really like this bot lane. It's very strong. You can see me on the minimap. I ran into their Speed Flux to grab both their berries. And now we're just going to get out. I should get guaranteed forward because I went to stack. The Leafeon's going to go down top to the Zacian. So both our lanes are hard winning. And again, this is how we cover for the weakness of Venusaur in our draft. Because Venusaur's early game is fairly weak, right? So we need to cover for that with winning lanes. Rhinne did the classic where he won lane with Elo. And then he tried to score and their jungler came top to kill him. That's happened in multiple games. I personally think as Zacian, you just shouldn't try to score it at all. You should just keep your points anyways. So I do think it's a little troll by him, but keep in mind that we did not have much practice with Zacian at all. I think Rhinne started playing Zacian like 2 weeks before, so he's still getting used to like the mechanics of it. Their Zora's just gonna invade after bees instead of trying to score. He does get the red buff, and now he's gonna run top, try to kill Rhinne again. But Rhinne kills him with Sacred Sword. So Rhinne is playing phenomenal. He's been hard winning lane even though the jungler came top. And again, he's gonna try to score, and I think it's troll. He's just gonna die for it. So he was hard winning lane both times, and he trolled it a bit just with macro, not even mechanically. So yeah, just shouldn't try to score there. We're gonna take that Adina on the left side. I'm gonna be forced to X speed though and get out. So bot is hard winning, top is hard winning as well, and jungle is even. So this game stay is very, very good for us. Actually, jungle's way ahead because we did crash bot on the first gank, scored a lot of points there. So yeah, this game stay is very good for us. As long as we get to late game, our comp is way better late game. They have a very early game / mid game heavy comp. So they're going to send 4 people top here trying to crash. We do have Hoopa, so we can rotate accordingly. But we decided to get Overlord's 30 in instead. And we are going to rotate kyriaos up. He's going to kill 1. And a great Shedinjadal. So kyriaos is actually running Shedinjadal on Inteleon for the Leafeon specifically. It's great into Zorak too. But we're just going to break bot here because we're so far ahead. I'm going to harass them. And look at this interaction. This is what Umbreon does best. I was like 50% health here because he chunks me with the Solar Blade. He's full health, and watch me just fight him. I do dodge a couple Solar Blades, but I literally fight him on pad here, and I think they're going to pan the camera away in a second. But just look at the health, right? He's full health. I'm 30% health. Just watch the health bars here. So, I'm half health now. He's still now he's 80% health. Now the Leafeon is 20% health, and I am half health. And I fought him next to his pad. So this is what Umbreon does best, and that's actually really good harassment because it's wasting the Leafeon's time. This is time, like in my opinion, the Leafeon should just be farming, not trying to kill me. So I think it's pretty troll. But that's what Japan likes to do. They like to fight a lot. But this is really troll because again, I just wasted his time. And he's never going to kill me, and I just got him so low. But anyways, let's go to the more important stuff. This is a bit important, but obviously, like, it's not the most important thing happening. So they're going to send 4 people top here, and we're going to rip the bottom one. So Rhinne is also farming jungle, so we're just going to try to concede top without losing too much. That's why we broke bot, so we just don't have to worry about top. They're going to get a small over to break it, so we still have a point lead here. And they're just going to rip the top one. This is standard practice for Japan. We knew they'd do this. And our whole thing is here, we're going to get the bottom Reggie. We're going to get way ahead in EXP. And then we can contest. The way it worked out is, I believe, you have to pay attention to these timers of when they die, right? So they both die at the same time around. And the bottom one dies first, actually, which is very good for Hoopa. This is much better for the Hoopa team, because we can go to both objectives and probably get both of them on second rotation. So that is ideal for us. Meanwhile, they're going to struggle on the second Reggies when they spawn. Because, again, Hoop Unite can just go across. And you can see here, I'm very aware that their only play right now, they don't show on vision, but obviously they can't push top in. And their only play is to run bot and try to force the pad. But I'm going Snarl Umbreon, so this is where Snarl really shines. I can stop all their scores on pad, and I already backed up ahead of time. I delayed the Leafeon for a little bit, but now I have to back up to defend this pad push because I know it's coming. And again, chunking that Leafeon is crucial because he's not going to be here with this team to push. So I really think the Leafeon hard trolled their macro here. The Leafeon should have been farming all the farm to hit level 8 earlier. He would have been full health, and he could have 5-man pushed the pad. I still think it wouldn't have worked out, but that would have been much better than him trying to fight me. I get him literally low health, so he has to heal up. He's going to hit level 8. Like, again, fighting me did nothing. So I really think he hard trolled there in the mid game, and that's actually going to really affect his team. Like, we could have defended the pad push, but if they had all 5, the Leafeon was here sooner, it would have been a lot harder. Whereas here, we just ripped the top Reggie already, and we're going to easily defend the push. The Leafeon's going to unite, it's not going to matter, and they all die on the push. And you can see here, this is the power of Hoopa. So the top Reggie's pushing in. We had 4 people ripping it. I, as an Umbreon, can easily stall with my Snarl and stop all of their scores. You can see I just time my Snarl to stun them, stop all their scores. Top Reggie's already ripped. We send everyone bot. And the Leafeon Unite literally dies in Unite. Doesn't do anything. And they're absolutely fucked. So tempo is important. This is what I talk about with tempo. Like, the Leafeon needed to keep better tempo. Needed to farm up faster so they could 5-man crash the pad at the same time. Their only chance is to kill me instantly. Like, blow all their Unites, kill me instantly, and score before we, like, the rest of the team can TP down. It's a small chance, but it could potentially work if they time all their abilities really well. But again, this is just too late. Their team's probably not on the same page. As soon as the Leafeon trolls like this, the rest of the team should probably know that this push is not going to work out. But this is the power of Hoopa, and this is why we took Hoopa away from them. And again, I'm going Mean Look, Snarl, which is really good peel for, we're playing double poke basically with Inteleon Venusaur. We have just Hoopa for healing. I have insane peel. So our comp is very, very good here. We took away Hoopa and Zacian because Asian teams really relied on Hoopa and Zacian for their macro and overall gameplay. You can see how the Hoopa is just hard winning us the early and mid game if used properly. And we struggled to use Hoopa throughout the year, but we got a lot better at our Hoopa macro for Worlds at least. It probably could have been better. I think Omo was better at Hoopa comps than us, which is why we banned them in the grand finals. But it was still very good. So we're just going to keep Zacian bot here. And again, yeah, we can go for both objectives at the same time. So you see we have 3 top here. Going for this top objective. Oyasumi decides they're way too low leveled. And they need to go... They need to kind of go for the bottom objective, which is smart. I think they need to go for the bottom objective. Me personally, what I would have done is I know this Hoopa play is coming, so I think you keep the Slowbro or the Leafeon, one of those two. You keep one of them top, probably the Slowbro, and you stall their scores, and then you rip the bottom objective. So the bottom objective is going to be like a 50-50 flip chance if you just rip it on spawn. And you'll stop all their scores, and that is the best case scenario and how to stop Hoopa plays in this game. However, they did not know to do this, so what they did was rhinne didn't know where they are, which is why there's this funny sequence where he runs past them, and they just run to score behind him. He's just gonna go invade, I believe, score some points on their side. And as soon as Elo sees them trying to score, he's going to Hoopa Unbound, Unite, and he's going to stop these scores. Stopping these scores is crucial, so you have to pay attention. He stops all their scores with his big abilities. They get 1 score in, sure. And he's going to TP everyone in. Kyriaos, unfortunately, insta-dies, taking the TP. They just instantly blow him up. He gets Zoro Espeon United, so I believe they pre-Espeon United before we even took the portal in. I'm going to get a fat-ass Umbreon Unite. You can see this Umbreon Unite. Look at my shield. So I stole their Blissey shield. I stole their Zoro shield. And this is why Umbreon is so good. It hard counters Blissey. You can see here, after I take these shields, that lets Overlord he ejected away from the portal so he wouldn't insta-die. And he just unites and solar beams them. And again, if I didn't take their shield, they would not be able to die, right? So me taking their shields here, all of their shields, is crucial. I literally took all their shields, so they don't actually have that big of health bars. Rhinne, after invading jungle, is just going to take the Hoopa portal too. And they're going to get Zacian United as well at the same time. And now they're all dead. I'm going to make sure to walk in a Slowbro, because after you Umbreon Unite, you still steal like 50% of shields, I believe. So walking into these other people's shields is very important on Umbreon. He kind of walks into me, which he did my job for me, and they're just all dead. We're just going to rip the objective now. And yeah, they're just absolutely fucked in this game. We have over a 100 point lead, and now we just have to hold on to our bot pad. They're probably going to try to make a play at around 330. They have a lot of spammable unites, so they could potentially get like any of their unites back and try to use them. They're gonna try to engage on me here. I'm just zoning for vision, which this is a good play because I have my X speed up, so I know I can just X speed out. Now I have complete vision of them. I'm just gonna heal up on pad, and they know they can't do anything. So cutting out for vision there is very important. If I allowed them to if I sat on pad here and I allowed them to walk up to pad, it would be much too late. Then they would have a chance to kind of do something. But at this point, it's because they don't have unites that I know I can scout up. If they have like Leafeon or Zoroark unite, this is much more risky, and you should just stay on pad. So once it gets to like 330, 320, 310, it's because we just had the big second Reggie fight, so I know they don't have unites. But since they don't have unites, we know we can just kind of play safe. Now they're gonna have their unite moves, so we have to be a lot more careful. I remember I trolled the Makuro here pretty bad. Well, not troll, it was more miscommunication. I remember that we said overlord was gonna go down. So basically I took the TP up because overlord was supposed to head down. But overlord wanted to go poke out the Zoroark, so we made this call. We were like, overlord and slash switch places. I didn't realize that overlord was looking at the Zoroark. He does this sometimes where he just doesn't communicate, and so things get a little messed up because he no calm ran at the Zoroark, so he didn't TP down. So then I was like, oh fuck, like, and the troll part that I did after overlord trolled was I backed because I should just wait for the Hoopa portal. And then I jumped bot, which I didn't realize Elo was going to TP because he also didn't communicate this. So just really bad mess ups in communication by all of us. And now they're going to score top, and there goes our huge point lead. So overall, just troll by everyone. I trolled, overlord trolled, Elo trolled. But it happens. Worlds is a little... everyone's nervous, right? So stuff like that is bound to happen. And it's whatever, it doesn't make that big of a difference. And so now they do let it in, and I think I try to score, which is also a little troll. I thought potentially I could get this just with Snarl. Honestly, what I should have done, I think it's worth the score. I should have X speed early and then snarled through all of them and scored. And I'm still gonna die, but I think it's worth the score. But here, anytime you do something half-ass, it's kind of troll. So I half-assedly decided I wasn't going to commit for the score after already running it, which is bad. At this point, I should just commit for the score. You can argue which is better. I think the score is much better. That's going to get me level 12, regardless of the EXP I give over. But yeah, so this was just troll. I should either score or not go for the score, and there is definitely a way I could score. So overall, it doesn't mean that too much. I didn't even have focus band up, so I didn't lose much except my X speed, but I did give experience over that I didn't need to while not getting that much experience myself. Mommy's gonna hard troll here and walk up too far. Not sure what he's doing here. He's trying to harass the Hoopa in our jungle, but it's just a free kill with mean look. So very troll by Mame. And yeah, I believe after this game they put him back on support, which was his main for Worlds, so he did a lot better on that in the series. I did not like Mame on the carry role. In the support role in particular, I thought he played well. So on my tier list, I believe I had him as attacker, which is why I rated him so low. But if I swap the roles like they did for Worlds, because I wasn't sure what they do, they all like kind of flex roles, then I would put him higher on the support tier list. I thought he was pretty good at Hoopa. But yeah, so they're going to chunk Rhinne out. Rinne's going to have to blow his eject button. But pay attention to Rhinne up here. Look at the health bars of Zoroark and Zacian. Oh, they actually show it. Okay. So, the Zoroark tries to score it, and Rhinne just gets him to 1 HP and kills him. So, unlucky he had to run through bees there. I think there's a way he could have lived. I believe he might live if he just Shadow Clawed forward still. But maybe he thought the bees were going to kill him. It would be close. But I remember that in comms, Rhinne was just like, I got Zork to 1 HP. And then he was like, I killed Zork. And we were like, what the fuck? I was looking at Rinne's health bar. He's like full health. I was like, how did you do that? And then the Blissey, this is a classic Blissey theme. The Blissey's trying to spam unite on the Zork, right? So the Blissey doesn't mean to unite the Espeon. The Blissey was trying to spam unite on the Zork, which happens. That happened to me earlier in the tournament. And I'm gonna Umbreon unite to steal their shields because they both united. And we can just kill them really fast. So we probably would have killed them without me uniting, but I thought it was worth just for tempo because the Zoro's dead right now. So if we hard force on them and kill them really fast, there's going to be nothing they can do. So now all 4 of them are dead. We just hard aggroed, and now it's up to the Slowbro to try to steal, but Order's just going to use Venusaur Unite to secure that. And they do have all their Unite moves, so keep in mind, this game's not over by any means. But in general, when you already have the point lead before a game ends, it's probably going to be over. So they have a lot of Unite moves still, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to get my score in. I'm going to distract for Elo to get a score. I'm going to take the portal out, and this game is just GG. So overall, there were a couple of mistakes by us, but I'd say we hard outplayed them. Just macro-wise, they got hard macro gap. They got mechanic gap. Rhinne literally solo killed their Zoroark. And we're just laughing here over Rhinne just solo killing their Zoroark that literally won us the Ray fight. So, yeah, this game just wasn't close. I believe the second game was a lot closer than this. But, yeah, we knew Asia Zoroarks were not very good besides Shua. Especially Japanese Zoroarks, they were not very good at Zoroark. It's because they all played Night Slash a lot. They all spam Night Slash, which in my opinion is worse. That's because there is a bug on Night Slash that makes it very strong. And I believe the bug was not even fixed. I'm still not sure if it's fixed right now. But even with the bug, Overlord figured out a while ago that Feint Attack is still better if you're really good at Feint Attack. But the Asian Zoroarks just never had any practice on Feint Attack. So they were a lot worse on it versus like if they played Night Slash or Urshifu. So, I mean, PY is the best Urshifu in the world, in my opinion. Which is why we're banning it. But on Zoroark, he looks a lot weaker. His Dojiro's pretty good. But yeah, Japanese Zoroarks were not very good, and we definitely abused that. Versus, obviously, Shua on Omo was very good, but that is APAC. And there's like 2 good Zoroarks in APAC, but still, a lot of Asia regions struggle with having good Zoroarks. So, looks like I got MVP that game. And, okay, they're just zooming in on my camera. I feel like they zoom on my camera a lot more than any of the others. Like, I haven't seen them zoom in on Elo's camera at all. So, that is a little weird. But there's actually a big pause in between this and the next game. I wonder what was happening. I honestly forgot. But same thing. We're going to give them Lapras. We're going to ban Urshifu. That's how threatening PY's Urshifu is. I believe that they thought we were going to ban... I'm not sure what they thought we were going to ban, but I think the Zoro ban's kind of troll. They should definitely just ban Lapras still. So we just banned Urshi on both sides, and now we get Lapras. So I definitely think they should have banned the Lapras. And they're going to take Umbreon Zacian, pretty standard for Asia. They love their Zacian. I personally think that Zacian Prio on 1-2 is troll. I don't think Zacian is good enough for that. Obviously, Zacian is very strong. But in my opinion, they should have picked Umbreon Inteleon or Slowbro Inteleon. Even Slowbro Umbreon. I don't like the Zacian Prio here. I think especially because basically if they don't take Slowbro, maybe Slowbro Zacian could work a lot better. But if they don't take Slowbro, the Slowbro hard fucks the Zacian. Because either they have to go Blissey, which, again, I went over this in my past videos, but you don't want to have to go Blissey. You want to go Hoopa. Ideally, you want Hoopa, and my team, we love Comfy, so you want to go Comfy. Something interesting to note is we thought a lot more teams would pick the Comfy because there were a lot of teams playing Comfy in scrims. But just at Worlds, no one was... maybe they thought the Comfy pick was bait after playing in scrims a lot. But there are a lot of teams that practice with Comfy, and I think we were the only team to play it at Worlds. Maybe a couple other teams played in groups, but in top 8 at least, I think I did not see another Comfy. So overall, their draft, I like it a lot better. Their draft is honestly really annoying for us. They have hyper early game. We have good early game, but their early game kind of stomps our early game, so it's gonna be a struggle. We do have Slowbro though, which is the saving grace because I can just Slowbro Unite anyone and it's a free kill. So ideally I'm gonna look to Slowbro Unite the Zacian or the Leafeon and we're just gonna kill him. Even the Mew, I can just Slowbro Unite whoever I want and they're gonna die because they have a Hoopa. But their goal is to be so fed, snowball the game where that doesn't matter. Where to the point where we kill one and they're still gonna win the team fight just with the other 4 being so fed. So they actually delay taking their ball toy, which is very smart. Pros will do this to get more EXP because that's how comeback EXP works. You want to take the ball toy a bit later in the game, and the later in the game it gets, the more worth a farm is. So we have very good secure here. We're just gonna it looks like the Mew actually got the mid Audino, which is bad. That's really bad in an Inteleon Silver lane. We should get every single farm, at least on our side. Their Zacian's gonna be very annoying, but we do manage to get a couple farm on our side, so that's very good. Their Leafeon did invade and stole the blue, but he kind of trolled a little bit because he got very low health, so Overlord's actually gonna be able to kill him. Which is very good for us. That's actually a much better start than we thought we'd have, because now the Leafeon is gonna be kind of late to lane, late to bees, and that's very, very good for us. So a much better start than we thought. Overlord's gonna go for the double drill peck on these two, and that's very insanely good for us. Now we're gonna get all our scores in, which I think rhinne could have scored there. I think he kind of trolled not going for the score. I see what happened. So he was scared that the Leafeon could run back to the lane. So that's actually smart by rhinne going to heal up, because we didn't have vision of Leafeon, and Leafeon kind of trolled the Pathian. I believe he ran to his buff. Okay, that's not that bad. I thought he was like running bot and then ran top, but running to the buff is actually fine. But Overlord's gonna get his stacks in, which is important. I do think the Zoro ban actually worked out for them. I think I said it was troll, but it was actually good because Zoro would have hard farmed their team comp they went with here, and we decided to go Dodrio, because Dodrio still kind of farms them. But the thing is, Zoro counters mean look. If you remember my past videos, I said Zoro can illusion the mean look, so it's actually very good into mean look. But Dodrio is gonna suffer a lot in the mean look, and you're gonna see here they're gonna abuse that. They're sending 3 people into the jungle, but Overlord is still gonna get the buffs. So this early game is honestly going way better than it should have. So it's very good for us. However, they're just harassing Overlord, so we send other people to Bs. We sent 4 to Bs, and yeah, this early game is just so good for us. We're doing so well. I do believe it gets a little close later on. Yeah, Overlord goes a little deep here. Diving into the speed flux as Dodrio, never a good idea. So I think that was very troll. And then he messes up a little bit. He should have boosted autoed away at that point as soon as the Mew E-ball. But I know obviously it's hard to, you can look at those scenes in hindsight, but obviously there's going to be good plays and there's going to be bad plays. That's just how it rolls. Rhinne is very fed though. Overlord is still very fed. So their play here, and this is where the early game still gets tough. That was an insane steal, by the way. And I think casters did not, like, this is one thing that pisses me off. Like, not like casters in particular. I shouldn't say pissed off, but it makes me sad. Stuff like this is insane plays. What kyriaos just did, look. He steals the B with an auto attack. I was losing my mind. I was like, holy fuck, kyriaos, you're the best player in the game. Like, holy shit, that was insane. Like, that actually matters a lot, right? Like, getting farm like that gives you levels. That's how you win lane. That's how you dominate lane. That's how me and kyriaos have been dominating bot lane every game. Just stuff like that. And the camera catches this insane steal on camera, and the casters just have no reaction. They just don't realize, which I feel like casters should point that out and react to it, because obviously casuals are going to struggle to realize just how insane plays like that are. but casters should really point to that and recognize it, which I really hope they do in the future. But yeah, sorry for that little tangent. I think casters are doing a great job. That's just one thing I personally would want them to improve on. So we tried to steal the Reggie, which was troll. I remember kyriaos being like, kyriaos after this game was like, slash, like, sometimes we didn't think too much through it, but we really should not have done this. And I remember kyriaos after the game was like, slash, why did we try to ego steal this? Like, we're clearly not going to get this. We're just kind of trolling, trying to steal it, right? And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why. Like, if we just stood on the pad here and overlord came down with level 9, then we probably would have killed them all because it would have been a 4v4. But, I mean, I'm alive, so it's a 3v4. But yeah, if kyriaos was alive, it would have been completely different. So we definitely hard trolled the early game here. Could have been winning way harder. And rhinne is going to come in Lapras Unite. Interesting tidbit, if you want to look into the minds of us. What we do with Lapras Unite is rhinne says call out a target, right? When he's Lapras United to tell us he's Lapras United. What we do then is we call out the best target for him to Lapras Unite. So in this case, we're like Leafeon next to Tapa Adina. Something like that. I forget the exact call out. I think we said Leafeon, and then we're kind of bad at calling out places, but we're like top side of the lane or whatever, right? So he comes in, unites him, because it's hard as a solo Lapras to realize where the enemies are. So you kind of have to communicate with your team on that. Gets the Leafeon, huge kill for us. They're gonna have a huge reset, so we just need to back up here. Gonna get the Adino, which is huge. Really good ice beam by rhinne, stunned all of them when they tried to engage. And yeah, so the game plan here, same as you've seen in all our other games. Rhinne is playing like Lapras or Blastoise or Buzzwole, right? And what he does is we just leave him bot because these Pokemon have insanely good secure. So in the bottom lane spawns the most experience. It spawns way more experience than top lane. So what he's going to do here is he's just going to get all the farm. Even like 1v2, he'll get all the farm, right? So we can just leave him alone. Or it's going to come down here to get some scores. We're going to get our scores in. So that would be the game plan normally. But what we saw here was that they were all top. So they were trolling a bit. So we get a ton of free scores in. Unfortunately, I don't get my score, which is very sad because it was only a 15 score. But we scored 70 points. I'm going to die for it, but they're definitely not going to be able to push the pad here. So I think it is very, very worth. We got 70 points in. And they're going to try to push the pad, but I do think this is troll. This is where Lapras shines. This is where Lapras gets the most value. And Overlord tried to go in there, tried to unite, but unfortunately, he's going to go down. So rhinne does get Lapras Unite back and gets an insane, that was an insanely good Unite move, hits 3 people, right? And they do get a reset off, but we're gonna kill the Zacian. You can see he's actually invisible, and I managed to surf hit him while invisible in the Mew Unite. So this is very good. kyriaos Shedinja to live, but he's still gonna die. Unfortunate, but I do think Shedinja is still like getting value even if it doesn't get there. Later on in the game, whenever the Leafeon tries to unite him, it'll be really good value. And off that misplay, we did misplay that a little bit. The Leafeon is going to score top, so that is a little bad for us. And at this point, this is where Hoopa shines because Hoopa on the second Reggies, which the top Reggie hasn't been touched at all, by the way. So that was an interesting change that Oyasumi did. Before, Oyasumi prioed the top Reggie, and they didn't give a fuck about bot. But this game, they kind of ignored top Reggie, so they kind of adapted the NA meta, which is good. I think it actually made it a lot better for them. And so, the problem was, though, I think the Hoopa is trolling here. Who's on the Hoopa? Let me look. Oh, it is Mame. So, a running theme. I'm not trying to play Mame too hard, but I do think Mame hard trolled these games. It could be a team theme though, like you never know internals, right? So someone could be telling him to do these things, but I really think what they should do here is the Mew should have been top because you can easily rotate with the Hoopa portals, right? So they should have had the Mew top instead of the Hoopa. So the Hoopa should be like the only one bot. If not, like they keep Hoopa, Umbreon bot, and then the Mew goes up and scores. That is much better. Because the Hoopa just goes up and scores, and you're getting no value out of Hoopa Unite, right? So what we do here is I just go on the pad and I slowbro Unite the Umbreon, and he just dies. And now the Mew can't stop both of us because Mew is terrible at stopping scores. That's the one weakness of Mew, right? You can't stop multiple scores. That's where Mew really sucks. So I just slowbro Unite the Umbreon on pad. We kill him on pad, and they do this really good play where the Hoopa unites topside. But again, the Umbreon died, so they don't have that many points. Let me see what led to this. Oh, I believe... Okay, so Overlord tried to ego fight the Leafeon. Oh, wait, no. He wasn't even fighting the Leafeon. He died to the Zacian, so that's just Zacian being broken. And Overlord dying led to that play where they're able to score top with the Hoopa. But overall, I'd still say this is good for us because we got the bottom objective. We're still ahead in points. And they use their Hoopa Unite for that, which is good. Kyriaos is trying to rip this bottom objective, and this is where it gets a little bad. So I think Overlord should have probably jumped bot here. Yeah, I think Overlord should jump bot and rip the Reggie to secure it, because Inteleon is a liquidation this game, so he doesn't have a good secure, because the Leafeon just runs down and secures it and kills him. So that was bad by us. Definitely should have more prio on the bot Reggie. Overlord should jump bot here. But overall, still not in that bad of a spot. We still have a point lead. Overlord's going to die again. But we're just going to keep scoring points behind them. I'm a Slowbro, so they can never kill me on pad. We just have Slowbro Lapras, so it's going to be hard for them to pressure pads. We are going to be down in experience, I believe. This is a good play. So obviously the last time you can Lapras Unite is around 3 minutes. So Rhinne is just using his Lapras Unite. I covered this in the last video where you should just use your Unites to get value. They do mean look him, but he's still going to run in Lapras Unite with Overlord. The Leafeon does eject out, and they use Umbreon Unite. I think that was very, very troll. Because they used Umbreon Unite at 3 minutes. You cannot Umbreon Unite at 3 minutes. The Unite is not that fast. That was extremely trolled by the Umbreon. So that is a huge trade for us, because their Umbreon is going to have Unite so late at Ray Fight. He's going to get Unite at like 140 or something. So that's a huge trade-off for us. And just fast forward, I believe we just don't go for the bottom objective. And again, you can see the Umbreon doesn't have Unite. You can see the icons of who has Unite. And the Umbreon still doesn't have Unite. So he has it very late because he Unite at 3 minutes. So that was very troll by him, in my opinion. And Rhinne is just going to sit with the Comfy now, because basically, I covered this strat in one of my last videos, but the Dodrio Comfy sits together the whole mid game. But then in the late game fight, you put the Comfy on top of the Lapras. And it actually, the Lapras is just unkillable with the Comfy on top of him. So they're going to do this play, which is unavoidable because they have Hoopa, right? So this is what Hoopa shines at. Just kind of being able to go for these back caps. You can see Leafeon's going for the back cap with no punishment, because you can just Hoopa Unite in whenever you want. So the Zacian does hard troll here. He dashes into the bush. You should never do that. You shouldn't waste your dash on Zacian. You should walk through the bush, Sacred Sword, save your dash to get out. So Overlord's just gonna troll back him. He's gonna get one shot. We did waste Lapras Unite, so I Slowbro Unite the Umbreon, and the reason for this is it's what I covered in the last video. Just because you can't look for like the ultimate, like obviously I'd want to unite the Zacian or Leafeon, right? Or the Mew. But the Mew is out of range here, right? The Zacian's already dead, and the Leafeon's scoring, so it's not near. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna Slowbro Unite the Umbreon to kind of be fast about pressuring. And then because of that, we can just hard force on them. Now they're fucked. They kind of had to hard pressure. And yeah, we're just gonna, I believe we just go and score behind them to get the point lead again. And now they're just fucked. We're kind of hard cycling them over and over again. And yeah, we just had the point lead. I believe they're gonna try to flip it. Yeah, they're gonna try to flip it after respawning. But I believe they get it, but we're just gonna kill them all. So that's what the purpose of kind of hard forcing earlier is. You're gonna cycle them a lot, to the point where They try to regroup, they try to flip it, but we're just gonna kill them all. They still get it and we still win because we're just gonna both everyone score. And that is GG. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like as they're going, I'm getting more in depth. So if you enjoy me going more in depth, let me know. Oh yeah, we pose for a group huddle. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm covering the grand finals next.